So it's Tuesday today. Yesterday we was just getting everything unloaded and prepping for work after Brands Hatch. Bit of a rundown of Brands Hatch. I know Tracy's going to put a video up, but we've got to repair the front bumper after damaging it, getting it into the back of the coach. Speed wise, I'm happy with the truck. Handling wise, I'm very happy with the truck. I need more seat time. I need to do a few more races and get stuck in. Need to find a sponsor now for tyres. So if anybody out there wants to sponsor the pickup, please get in touch. But yeah, Tuesday, back to work properly. One job that come in last week was 2 A-series crankshafts. I've done one of them, so I'm just doing the second one today, but I will show you those. These are 2 cranks that have been nitrided by a company. So what I've got to do now is polish the journals and check that they're running straight. I'll try and get them with only about 1 thou of run out. The one that I've got on the balancing machine at the moment, which I'll show you, I did have to try and get a little bit of bend out of it. It was showing to be, I think, 5 thou. Now I've got it on the wheels of the balancer. I'm not driving it on the balancer, I'm just using the balancer to rotate it because this doesn't move. But if you look at the gauge, we've got 1 thou of run out now. So really happy with that. That's one of them done for the customer. And the bearing faces have polished up really nice. So yeah, that's a good one. So going back to the one here, the first thing I will do is polish the journals, and then I will check it for warp. So the first job is get the crankshaft rotating and the crank grinder. And then get the crankshaft polisher out. The first part of polishing the crankshaft will block the polishing belt. I don't know what is on the first part of the bearing surface, but it does clog the belt up. So the next thing I'll do is I'll clean the belt out. I don't know if that shows it, but it's quite badly blocked. And that's it. So the next thing to do is to check it for straightness. So I'll take it out of the crankshaft grinder. There we are. And then we'll go over to the balancer again. And this one's actually not as warped as the first one. This one's only got 1 thou in it anyway. It turns really nice. Let me see if I can pick that up for you. So that one doesn't even need touching really. So yeah, that's that job done. One of the jobs I've got in at the moment is to convert this Ford Pinto cylinder head to lead-free converted. So I'll be doing this by fitting a sintered steel seat into the exhaust. The seats that I'll be running is an AE part number it's called a VS6037. So this is like a pressed powdered steel, what makes it really hard. So I fit this into the original cast iron cylinder head. Move this a bit closer, I can show you. So they go in the exhaust side and I'll press them in like that. So the first thing that I do is measure all 4 seats just to make sure that they're all exactly the same size. I make a note of that, and then I bore the seat out as a rough cut first, and then I leave myself about 2.5 thou to 3 thou to press it in. So I rough it out first and then give it the final cut. Warm the head up, press the seat in. I lock it in with this stuff here, which is liquid ceramic. And then what I'll also do is I'll machine the gasket faces up for the customer so they're nice. Machine the head face up, cut the inlet seat as well. Somebody's had a go at machining this before, and there's an actual line there. So yeah, it'd be good to machine that out. I think they've machined it on a milling machine and not made a very good job of it. But yeah, I can sort that out. So like I said, the first thing to do is to measure each seat to make sure that although they're the same part number, they are the same size. Yep. And then make a note of that. Then minus the clearance. And then the other size that you have to take out of it for the tooling on the machine is, let me just move it and show you, is this diameter here, which is 669 thou. So I'll write that down, minus 669, and divide it by 2 because I'm after the radius of it. So I have to set the machine up to machine at 416 thousandths of an inch. So what I'll probably do is set it up to machine at 400 thou first, and then take the 16 thou out to get it to the exact size. So I'll put these seats just here waiting, and then the next thing to do is to set the cylinder head up under this parallel. So I fitted this pilot here. This pilot is for checking or setting the cutter, so it's a certain size to fit this tool here. So like I said before, the first size I'm setting it for is the rough cut, which I'm pretty sure I've done that. Yeah. So this right angled cutter in here, it's a slightly older one. I put that one in first just to take the rough out of it, and then I've got quite a few brand new ones which leave a better finish, so I'll then swap it over for one of those. But the first thing to do is to then take the setting pilot out and fit the pilot that fits the seat. Once that's nipped up, I then recenter the machine by pressing this button up here to center the servos. So that moves the head of the machine to get it in the center. I then bring it down and fit it to this plate here using the magnet. So just make sure the plate's nice and clean. Carefully fit the pilot into the exhaust guide like that, and lower the cutter so it's just off where we're boring from. Let me move this so you can probably see it a bit better. Just that. Then lock the magnet of the machine, then press this button, and now this is moving here using the servos to find the centre of the guide. Once it's found the centre, it will then tell me it's found it by lighting this LED up here. Then lock the head of the machine, so then now this part is locked to that, the cylinder head is locked to that, and that the head that moves around is locked by this lever. This is then called a Vera drive, so we then put that on. Then bring the cutter down so it just starts to cut the top of the seat, like that. Then with one of the valve seats, just check where on this scale here we need to cut down to. And then basically wind this in, and then it just keeps cutting the seat. There we are, that's deep enough on that one. Next thing to do is just check that the seat doesn't fit. Make sure that I haven't set the machine up wrong. Right, that's that one done. So once again we reset the centre of the machine. Oh, just put a bit of swarf on it. Clean that guide out. Always make sure that this scales at the front, because sometimes it can be at the back like that and then you can never read it. So before you lock the machine, always make sure that the scale's at the front. And once again, magnet first, centralise the machine, bring the cutting head down till it just touches, which is there. See whereabouts on the scale I need to machine down to. So the seats, sorry, the head's bored out now to take the seats. They're to size, so I just need to warm the head up, get the swarf out of it, and then ceramic glue the seats in. While it's on this machine, I'm just going to clean the ports up with the wire wheel, get the seats to height, and then cut the new valve seat onto the seat. So I'll do that next. So the seats are now fitted. I've done a radius around the edge of it just to tidy them all in and blend them in. So the next thing to do is to actually cut the seat on them. So I'm taking my radius cutter out and I'm fitting a 1.5mm seat 3-angle. And then I need to set the angle of the valve for the cutter. So I'll do that by fitting the exhaust valve into the valve holder. And then setting the pointer on what point of the valve I want to put the seat, which is about there. I'll then mirror that onto the cutter, same as the Pro Valve machine. So once again, zero out the centronic. Fit the centronic onto the bed of the machine. Turn the speed down a bit, because it's now going on to the sintered steel lead-free seat. And then bring the cutter down until it does the seat. So it's doing the first angle at the moment. Now it's just starting to machine the 45-degree seat. And then what I want to do is just get it where it just starts to put on the third angle. Which is just about there. That's it. drop the valve in to make sure it bounces all right. So I've mounted the head on the surfacer. I've moved the fly cutter up, and so it's using the stone segments for refacing. So I'm going to reface the inlet side first, then the exhaust side, then the head face. So I'll time lapse all these together. So that's the head all refaced. It wasn't actually badly warped. It had a funny line in it where it had been milled or something before. The surface finish on it I've left a little bit rough because it runs a standard style gasket, not a multi-layer steel. So yeah, next thing to do is get it in the cleaner for a couple of hours, then get it built up. The Pinto cylinder head is now out the cleaner, so next thing to do is tape it up and paint the these bits of cast here blue. So that's the Pinto cylinder head all done. That's the inlet manifold face, refaced. I've painted it blue. It's got lead-free seats in it. All the valves have been shot blasted, the stems polished, refaced, and then topped. The exhaust face I've skimmed flat again, and then it's got a new set of stem oil seals on it, and then all the springs have been refitted, and then it's been over to my Pro Valve seat cutter and had a vacuum test on it. If I just put this up here, I'll be able to pick the head up and show you the side of it. A bit of blue paint on it. So that's all done, ready for the customer to collect.